Undoubtedly, things look tough for Trump right now. It looks like he's not in a great legal position, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes in the U.S. Attorney's Office, at the FBI, in the Fulton County, Georgia Prosecutor's Office, or anywhere else.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering this week and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Westwood. I'm here today with magazine editor David Mark. And David, you wrote a piece for the Examiner this week about all of these predictions that the red wave for November might be being downgraded because of some recent numbers, some recent outcomes in special elections and such. Tell us about why that conversation is happening.
Yeah, based on what we thought, it looked like Democrats were in for a drubbing in the November midterm elections. If you're a football fan at all, it might seem like your team at halftime was down 21-7. Now, though, it looks like Democrats could come back and win, or at least keep it close. Doesn't happen real often in games, but occasionally it does. There's a whole series of factors. Mostly Democrats have been able to make it a choice between them and Republicans, saying essentially vote for us, don't vote for Republicans, because of a variety of factors. There's the abortion decision from the Supreme Court. There's improving economic news. Some of the prices have fallen for gas and other commodities. Then, of course, there's the presence of former President Donald Trump. There was the search of his home, Mar-a-Lago, by the FBI, and just him generally staying in the news. That seems to be helping Democrats.
A lot of pundits out there talking about the Trump FBI raid and the possibility of him being indicted for mishandling classified information as something that they know exactly how it's going to affect the midterms, right? And they know exactly how this case is going to unfold. Talk a little bit about the politics of that, and how that's affecting the perception of Democrats rising.
Right. Undoubtedly, things look tough for Trump right now. It looks like he's not in a great legal position, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes in the U.S. Attorney's Office, at the FBI, in the Fulton County, Georgia Prosecutor's Office, or anywhere else. Being a prosecutor means using discretion. Prosecutors do not like to bring cases that they can't win. And while things look awfully bad for Trump right now, that does not mean he's necessarily going to get indicted. Doesn't mean he won't get indicted. We just don't know. And I think a lot of the punditry and predictions would be better to lay off of it and just let it play out a bit.
And nobody learned anything from the Russia investigation.
Right.
One of the signs that I think a lot of commentators are poring over, as we head into this next week is the outcome of the special election in Alaska, in which Sarah Palin lost the state's congressional seat to a Democrat. Ranked choice voting potentially had some impact on that, right? Can we get a strong reading about what that means from the Alaska election?
Well, certainly put in line with some of the other House special elections, it looks like Democrats are overperforming. You look at the numbers, they're doing 6 or 7 points better than they did in some of these other races. Now, they've only actually won 2 out of 5, but if you extrapolated this, Democrats would have a tremendous year. But like you say, there are lots of mitigating factors. There's this unique or near unique ranked choice voting system in Alaska, which can be very convoluted, and it has people putting in their first choice, their second choices, adding them all up, that sort of thing. There's Mary Patola. She's the Democratic Congresswoman to be, representative-elect. She was a very good candidate. She's a former state representative, a mother of 7, actually, an NRA member who's in line with the state's views on guns and environmentalism, oil drilling. Just a really strong candidate. And Sarah Palin just isn't that well liked in Alaska anymore. I can say this. I was up there on vacation a little over a year ago, not doing any reporting, just talking to people in restaurants and supermarkets and whatnot. And she's kind of seen as a hermit, somebody who just disappeared, took the money and ran. So I'm not terribly surprised she lost that race, actually.
Well, David, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You can get more reporting from David and the rest of the political team at washingtonexaminer.com.